Hi, I'm Mario 1031, and I cannot tell a lie. This is the Tuesday after, the late edition. Yes, I'm sorry for the late news, but had to watch the Tigers go force a game 5 against the Oakland A's. Congratulations, Detroit. You did finally a Detroit team that does something. Y'all may be wondering why I look like Abe Lincoln tonight. Well, first of all, I had to my son's Halloween party. Yeah, he's got to have one too. He's going to be dressed as the man himself. Be prepared though. There's no picture showing. You just see it. Secondly, this head shows like a magician's head. It's a tall magician's head as we get into tonight. First of all, only I got, as you see here, I got Mr. Eldrick Tiger Woods up here. Yes, I'm sitting in front of my TV with the PS3 running, which will probably go black in a little while. But don't worry about that. It's just normal. It happens. Um, I'm going to talk about, first of all, Mr. Tiger Woods. He helped the United States win the President's Trophy. I ain't talking about the hockey one. I'm talking about the golf one. And so congratulations to him. Next off, while we got baseball full swing, we know the playoffs are going good. And now we got the NBA. Yes, their preseason finally started. Gee, it only took, what, a month after hockey? Oh, man, that's just horrible. But speaking of hockey, the reason I got the Wings wheel on tonight, because the Red Wings are in first place in the East. You better believe it, because nobody thought when the Wings moved to the East that this was going to happen. But guess what? It did, and it will. And it will continue on, because the Wings are that good. Now, we're going to get into what I like to call, and we're going to change spots right here. We're going to go from Mr. Woods himself to my Mr. Main Man, who used to run and gun for the Detroit Lions. Yes, this is the only Detroit Lions player that I like. If y'all know me, I'm not a Lions fan. Who's this guy right here? Here, I'm gonna move over. Yes, mad props to Mr. B. Sanders right here. He's now in the Hall of Fame, as I props with the Madden 25 edition. But however, we're gonna talk about these Lions first off as they face the Green Bay Packers. Now, like I said, this had doubles, and not as Abe Lincoln, but as a Magic hat. We're going to see a Magic Wand player to the Lions. As all you Lions fans quoted last week, after beating the Bears, wanted to win the Super Bowl, said, yeah, we're going to make it all the way. We beat Chicago finally. Well, we went to Green Bay. And don't say you didn't have Megatron, because all you guys, the Lions wide receivers, I'm talking to y'all, have dropped many passes. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, who looked like another Brett Favre in the third and fourth quarter, came up not empty-handed, but 2 touchdowns. One I saw miraculously. I hope it didn't get called back because I was in the store watching that game. So let's see if I can put up my hat for Detroit Lions. Let's see. I see in my hat. What's this? What's this? Nothing. I'm sorry. Hell no. Just because that the Lions are 3-2, still top the NFC North, because unfortunately, and I'll get to this in a minute, Chicago losing. That doesn't mean that the Lions still aren't up to their old bag of tricks. Why? Because yes, they proved that the defense gives up points in the fourth quarter. Yes, they have proved that the offense cannot play all 4 quarters. And yes, they got hyped over Chicago, but still, I'm still trying to tell you, it was an overhyped game. You're not going to make the Super Bowl. Hands down, flat out, forget it. But this man's already in Canton, so we're going to move on. Speaking of the Bears, I got to talk trash about them too this week. Why? Because simple. It was more or less the Last of Us game, because, let me put it on here for you. It was more or less this for my own personal favorite Chicago Bears. It was more or less the Last of Us. Oh, no, that's not the Last of Us. That's not the Last of Us. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the Godfather. Yeah, that's the Last of Us. Now, it was more or less the Last of Us for the Chicago Bears. Why? Because they're at home. They're playing against New Orleans Saints. Yes, I do admit, I'm probably the only Bear fan who picked the Bears to win. And why? Because of Mark Tressy's all-important newfound offensive attack. Unfortunately, he forgot about one thing. The defense. Yes, the Bear defense, the Bear down Chicago Bear defense that we all know and grow and love has gone south. First 3 games that they won, the defense has been monsters, and the Bears in the midway. However, in Soldier Field, the offense sputtered into the fourth quarter, like they usually do, and the defense, once again, was nowhere to be found. Yes, I do admit Drew Brees had it easy. However, the Bear defense finally caught up, but unfortunately, it was too late. And I have a problem with that because the defensive front of the Chicago Bears should get to any quarterback in the NFL. Unfortunately, they didn't do it this time. Why? Because of the Saints. You gotta expect more from them. With Sean Payton on the helm, which reminds me, there are another team that are still undefeated. They're 5-0. The Bears dropped to 3-2. And speaking of the undefeated, will you believe that once again we're gonna go to another one of my favorites, The Walking Dead. No, I'm sorry, it's still the wrong one. There you go, The Walking Dead. It was survival instinct for them 4-0 teams going to Sunday. It was New England, KC, Denver, and we got the fourth team right here, which would be wait a minute, I lost it. Seattle. Yeah. 4 teams. Now, out of those 4 teams, guess which 2 made it? We're going to talk about the 2 that didn't make it first. First of all, Seattle had a run of bad luck in Indianapolis against the Colts. Yes, bad luck meaning by the name of Andrew Luck, who just dumped the Seattle Seahawks to the ground. Pete Carroll is a brilliant coach, but Seattle could not stop Andrew Luck in that passing attack. And they didn't have a pass yet to run. And, well, I feel sorry for the Seahawks, but they now fall to the ranks of the ones beaten. And again, we're going to go again to New England. Woe is me, New England. I gave praises to Tom Brady forever. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. You go to Cincinnati, however, in week 5, you only scored 3 points. Well, it would have been 10. Unfortunately, Mr. Wide Receiver wanted to make a couple extra moves at the 10-yard line, fumbles the football. And Brady, trying to be Brady, bring his team back, but Brady did one step mistake and threw an interception. Do it right. I admit. Brady's not perfect. But I was hoping for a perfect matchup between the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. That didn't happen, but you know what? There's always still that perfect matchup between the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. Next up, we got KC. KC. The Kansas City Chiefs. Who would have thought that KC would come out being undefeated and win against Tennessee Titans? Yes, I know Tennessee's on a backup QB, but Tennessee still played like Tennessee. But what did KC do with Alex Smith? They played like KC. They earned 5-0. They earned that win with this now unbeaten 5-0 record. And I gotta admit, KC looked good last week. I might be picking them again this week. Who knows? Kind of scary for me. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos. Man, I'll tell you, if you watched CBS at 4 o'clock on Sunday, all the way down to 7:47, you was not disappointed. You want to see no defense? If you got like offense, it was what we call in Dallas the shootout at the OK Corral. It was so much of a shootout that we're gonna call this one wet. Yeah, it was wet. Not WWE 12. It was wet. Why would we call it wet? Because all you saw are streaks of touchdowns, back and forth and back and forth. Romo throwing over for 500 yards. Manning throwing over for 400 yards. And what happened in the end? Romo breaks it off in the fourth quarter. Last play of the drive and gets stepped into for a pick. But I was not disappointed in Tony Romo. Why? Although he threw that pick in the fourth quarter, and although I do admit on Denver's last drive, that they should have let Knowshon Moreno score because he was so close to the end zone. He could have pushed him in. Could have had an extra minute on that clock for Romo to do his thing. It didn't happen that way. I'm not mad at Dallas, but Denver, Man, who would have thought that would have been a game? Who would have thought that Denver could have been taken out by Dallas Cowboys? I sure didn't. I thought it was going to be New England Patriots. Well, Denver's still undefeated, and New England's coming. Watch your back. They're coming for you. Now, for the rank of the unbeaten to the rank of the winless. In this segment, we go to the asylum. Why are we going to the asylum? Simple. We're talking about the New York Football Giants versus the Philadelphia Football Eagles. Man, when I told the Giants and not the football Giants, they are the little scrub boys that I called them last week. There's a reason. Eli Manning throws three more picks. I'm telling you that the Giants cannot get on the scoreboard for a W. Why is that? I don't have an answer. But it looks like the NFC East so far is the weakest division in the NFL right now. Because the leader of the pack, which is Philadelphia, is only 2-3 under Michael Vick. Shockingly surprising? Wonderfully malicious? Who knows? Who calls the NFC East? The NFC North right now is getting stronger while the NFC East is getting weaker. Now, the NFC East was one of the strongest divisions in the NFL. But we got the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Giants, and not the Jets. I can't think of who the other team is. I'll get back to that in a minute. In the NFC East, all with losing records. Well, but somebody's got to make the playoffs off that. It's gonna be a 7-9 team, I'm telling you, or a 6-8, which we as football fans don't want. But hey, let's call it how it is. Meanwhile, my other winless team, Pittsburgh, did not lose a game. However, they did not win a game either. They were off this week. Man, I'm serious. I was so glad they were off this week. I did not want to see them blow another one. Meanwhile, our Sunday nighters consist of, first off, we're going to go to Atlanta and Houston, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. Not Atlanta and Houston, that was a Monday night. Atlanta and the Jets. As we call this the Monday night fly-by showdown. We're going to call this one Cars 2. I think we're going to call it Cars 2. Yeah, we're going to call it Cars 2. Why are we going to call it the Cars 2? Because the Dirty Birds of Atlanta did some flying on Monday. But they didn't fly fast enough as New York Jets beat them 30-28. But another fly-by game was the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers, who played a late night thanks to the Oakland A's and Detroit Tigers in Oakland for Game 2 of the ALDS. If anybody stayed up for that game, raise your hand. Anybody in the East Coast? Midwest? Southeast? West? No, I guess not. Nobody likes to see a California game that late because they got to go work in the morning. It could have made the game Saturday, but I forgot. Or they could have made 2 Monday nighters at the beginning of the season. Speaking of which, let's get rid of this Thursday football, although my Bears are wrong. Moving right on. First of all, I know I'm a little late in this because I should have gotten this segment beforehand. We're going to talk about an idiot of the week, as we like to call this segment Deadpool. Deadpool, if you don't know the Marvel comic, is a comedian. And a fascinating comedian for that matter. He kills folks and makes jokes about you the next day. Or the next minute, the next second, wherever the case may be. He's like Dante, but more sarcastic. Now, this week's idiot of the week was going to be 3. But because of my late night showing of the Tuesday after this week, I had an epiphany of making it 1. First of all, I was going to talk about the NFL in general and having 2 Sunday night games. Why is that? Because nobody gets to stay up late that much later at 11 o'clock knowing they're going to be at work the next morning. But I didn't do it. Then I was going to make a wisecrack about people, I'm talking about men and women, who go on these date lines, these dating sites. We're talking Tag, Backpage, maybe sometimes Facebook, or maybe even Rude. You don't know what Rude is? Adults, look it up. Not for kids' eyes. Who go on there, meet this other person, because I don't know what you're into, and say, hey, I want to get hitched in 3 days. Let's do this because there's nothing else to do. I'm not going to talk about that. I will, however, tell you a story. I was in Kmart just a few minutes ago before I started airing this show, and there was this guy in here, this nut job. There were two lines open. It was the midnight shift coming in. You know, our Kmart's 24 hours. Check it out. We're good. Um, but this guy came in, and he was in a hurry. He was fussing about how there were no more cashiers open because he wanted to go. This guy deserves to be an idiot of the week because he's being impatient. He goes up to the manager, he goes up to the cashiers talking about we need more lines open. But there's only 5 people in 2 lines. He's in a hurry. He's fussing at one cashier. He's fussing at another cashier. He's fussing at the stopwatch. It's just madhouse. Then he wants to come over and talk to me talking about, man, you should have more lines open. Dude, are you nuts? It's 10:30 on a Tuesday night. Get over it. It's Kmart. If you've been to Myers, you already know Myers only got 2 lanes open after 10 o'clock. If you've been to Kroger, Kroger ain't got no lanes open, but they're scanning, but they're U-scan. And if you've been to Walmart, Walmart's barely got a lane open. Now this shit going for like 10 hours on less, then they probably got one beside because they're so huge. But to all you guys that do that, all you guys who are seeing this, believe me when I tell you, it's funny how these guys could just be so impatient and not wait their turn. I don't know what he got into earlier, but also dude had a black eye. It was plain as day, and it was just hilarious to me how he was acting in the store, where he had customers laughing at him, cashiers laughing at him, management laughing at him, hell, even the security cameras laughing at him. It was just a shame for him. And if you ever run into any of these guys, laugh at them too, because they are idiots. And that's all I gotta say about that. My final thought is the 6 minutes. Now, it was something I was supposed to get into beforehand, but we're gonna got a war style for my 6 cents because hell, I like the game and that's how it's played. First of all, my 6 cents I should have gotten to last week. It goes along the line of rivalry games in high school. First of all, I gotta admit, like I said, it was a Channel 7 game, high school game of the week, and we had it. Port Huron High versus Port Huron Northern. I personally drove the Port Huron Northern team to the stadium and sat on the Port Huron High side and watched the game. But I also had a chance to see the emotions take out after the game as seniors break down in tears. Why is that? Why am I mentioning this? Because this is what happens during Super Bowls. This is what happens during Stanley Cup Finals. This is what happens during World Series. This is what happens during the NBA Finals. This is what happens during World Cup. This is what happens everywhere for you, where you are so close and your last chance and you don't make it. Well, you gotta feel sympathy for these kids because you gotta have a heart somewhere. You can't be all just a fan and mock them. But you gotta have a heart in them too. How they work so hard but yet fall just shy of their goals. And to this I say to you, you must lift them up. Now that's your program. You can mock them all you want to because they don't care. They're making millions of dollars. But that's for these high school kids and college kids who come so close to making their championship reign or being a rival in the last chance. And they cry. Do not mock these kids because they have feelings. They have hearts. They have minds and they have souls. And if you're going to laugh at them, you're soulless, you're mindless, and you're careless. Yes, I did cheer for PH because I'm a fan of PH. However, I do feel for the Northern guys because I've seen the other side of things too. I was on both sides of the fence at one time, and I hated going through it. So next year, I may not drive these guys, but I want to go to this game anyway, so we're going to call it that. My last 6 cents, we go to GTA 5. Yes, I know. Listen, y'all gotta understand. This game just came out last week, and I shouldn't be touching on it. But this is highway robbery. This game cost $266 million to make. Yes, I'm talking about them Grand Theft Auto heads out there who like playing this stuff. I gotta admit, I was in it, but I fell off track with San Andreas because it went Grand Theft Auto 1 car, Grand Theft Auto 2 car, Grand Theft Auto 1 car, Vice City 3 car. But when it gets to Black Man San Andreas, bike. Really? Uh, I was done because that was racism on my part. I threw off Rockstar for good for GTA for that one. But 4 didn't make it no better because 4 started off in the car in a Russian. Go fig. But now they made 5. They got 3 guys in it who the black guy actually starts off in the car as a repo man. Now, anybody who's seen repo games, you should know that the star repo games is a black guy. Coincidence? I think not. Because why? They starting to understand that black dudes start off in cars, not on bikes. We may start off in the ghetto, but we start off in hot rides. Now, is that more racism? Yes. But that's going to stop GTA from being sold? No. Although these groups talking about although talking about the NAACP, young children's rights, mothers against drunk driving, because you do drink in that game, you get buzzed, you do steal, the police, the cops, whoever. The game made in its first 24 hours. No, first of all, let's talk about production. Production wise, GTA 5, that is Grand Theft Auto 5, was $266 million in production. Why is that so important? Because that's top of the line as in Transformers, G.I. Joe, all the Avengers, every big budget summer blockbuster. Men in Black even. But in 24 hours, they almost quadrupled it. Well, I'll take that back. They did triple it though. $815 million on the release date. Man, you can't tell me Rockstar ain't doing nothing right. Although they do play a race card, they do play a stereotype card, and not just black folks, and white folks, in Russian and in English. They gotta be doing something right because somebody's playing this game right here, and I'm one of them. Yeah, I'm not playing it for the look of the girl. I'm playing it for the game. I'm not going to lie. So if you're going to go out and buy the game, be forewarned. It's addictive. But I urge you not to go online till they fix the server. They haven't fixed it yet. But please support your game companies. I'm trying to. It's hard for me. That's why I'm sitting in front of PS3 right now. Yeah, I know. I'm not supporting them. Thank you very much. I know I'm not supporting them. But guess what? I got the game, baby! On the final note, you can think about that. This is missing out on saying, being song of Jeopardy comes to mind. Have at it. I'm done. This video is 24 minutes. I'm out of here. Peace out.